class. We're on lesson 1.0, refreshing our skills and sort of getting ready for Unit 1 as a whole here. We're going to practice finding the difference and finding the ratio between two items. So we'll start here with example A. It says to find the difference and the ratio in each situation. And it tells you here in yellow, you subtract now minus the previous to find the difference. And in blue, you divide now divided by the previous to find the ratio. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Now minus previous is the difference. Now divided by previous is the ratio. So for part A, the difference would be last year's college tuition is $20,000. This year it's $23,000. So this is simply $23,000 minus $20,000 is a difference of $3,000. Hopefully that's pretty obvious to you. The ratio is a little bit different. You're going to come out with a decimal. So for the ratio, instead of subtracting, you divide. This is another way of figuring out the percent change that is occurring when a college tuition goes from $20,000 up to $23,000. I'll show you what I mean by that with percent change. We go to the calculator and sorry about that, clear the ink, clear it. We're going to go ahead and do 23,000 divided by 20,000. We're going to get a decimal that's going to be 1.15. Okay, so that's called our ratio between those two numbers. It's 1.15. What I meant by percent change, if you take this part that's after the decimal point, that 0.15, that means that the college tuition saw a 15% increase from one year to the next. Keep that in mind because we're going to use it as the chapter goes on. Moving on to part B, it says 150 acres of land were flooded last week, but now we have 120 acres that are flooded. So previously we had 150, now we have 120. So the difference is going to be now 120 minus previous 150. So that means there's a decrease of 30 acres. So negative 30 would be the difference. For the ratio, this time it's going to be a number below 1, a decimal below 1. Now we have 120 acres of land flooded. Previously we had 150. So this time we need to take 120 divided by 150. And as you can see here, we're going to get a decimal, 0.8. That's going to be called the ratio. And if you remember from part A, when the ratio was 1.15, I mentioned that that was a 15% increase from one year to the next. When the decimal is below 1 like this, like 0.8, what you need to think about is what percent or what decimal below 1 is that? For example, in this problem, 0.8 is 0.2 units below 100% or below 1. So if the ratio is 0.8, that means that there is a 20% decrease. Just wanted to mention that to you, and we will talk about that more as the chapter goes on as well. That's it for example A. I will record example B as a separate video.